Big Blue Nation, welcome back to another episode of the Bluegrass Breakdown. I got my man Israel Schill with me as always, but a little throwback. We got AJ Nava. If y'all didn't know, we did Colonel at the buzzer. Oh, yeah, clap it up.
Hey, I feel so welcome.
We're so happy to have you back in here, AJ.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, man, a blast from the past. We got to tell you this. We completely forgot the last podcast name. Because we were doing like class introductions, and they're like, "Oh, how do you all know each other?" And we're like, "We did the
podcast.
We did the
best thing together."
And they were like, "What was the name of the podcast?" We were like,
Our teacher was like, "It's been summer, like you all are good." And
I was like, "Oh my God, it's been that long."
Yeah, that's funny, man.
Because to be fair, Israel, like, you did a lot for us with that, and you did
a ton.
Insider, I'm more involved with you, and I feel like I help as much as I can with all the little extra stuff. But Colonel at the buzzer, bro, Izzy did everything.
Yep. I just yapped.
Gosh,
that was what my role was. Yapping.
Yeah.
It was a great time though.
It was awesome.
Fun. I mean,
we spit facts on there too. That was
a good 6 months. That was a good 6 months.
Man,
and y'all been killing it on KY Insider on this
bro.
pod. This is great. I love the breakdown,
dude. Thank you, man.
No, thank y'all for liking my comment that I left.
Oh, bro, obviously. We get on there, and I'm like,
I did it in class.
He did it in class.
No. Okay, guys. Well, we got, I guess we got to talk about football because 5 days.
We're here.
5 days,
we
man.
made it.
Wow.
Toledo coming into Lexington. First of all, we got a complete depth chart, and I don't want to necessarily deep dive. I'm not that type of guy. I expect the starters to be the starters. I think we have a pre-notion of what it will look like, and we got confirmation with that. Zach Calzada is going to be a quarterback starting week 1 against the Rockets. We all kind of expected that, but I think rumors were really heating up that Cutter Boley was almost like this, neck and neck as it comes to talent. But then obviously Calzada coming into his 7th year is just the more experienced guy, the guy you want to put out there week 1 to start the offense. So
it's definitely the right call to make for a week 1.
Yeah, for sure.
Position.
You want the more experienced guy.
Yeah.
You want the guy with SEC,
Yeah. Guy who beat Alabama. He's done that. Been there, done that already.
Can't too many people put that on their resume.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to bring this up. There's a user by Drew Temu, I think is how you say it. But he just does sports takes on Twitter. He put this out reposting Yahoo Sports announcement of Calzada starting at quarterback. His freshman year, Joe Burrow won the Heisman. Jalen Hurts was at Oklahoma. Justin Fields was a first-year starter. Jonathan Taylor was still at Wisconsin. And Justin Herbert was at Oregon. So if that doesn't tell you how long this guy has been playing the sport of football.
A minute.
He's 4 years older than me.
Joe Burrow has gone to and lost a Super Bowl before this guy has left college football.
The year he was recruited was the Rams and Patriots Super Bowl.
Oh my God!
Think about
Tom Brady would that's his last Super Bowl win.
Redshirting is a crazy thing.
So, with that being
7 years, man, we were in high school. We were in
7 years ago.
School.
Oh yeah, let's think about.
I was 14 years old.
That's 2018. We were 8th grade freshman year, in between 8th grade and freshman year.
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
That's
insane.
insane.
And here we are now, seniors in college. So it just goes to show.
It goes to show that this guy has played a lot of football.
His live experience.
And we'll kind of transition into, but like Toledo is not an easy game.
No,
and it's good to have a guy with that much experience. Obviously, the SEC and the MAC, there's levels. There's huge levels to it. But Toledo is probably the presumed MAC winner this year, and Kentucky's probably going to be last place or second to last place in the SEC. So there's a big little middle division there where you're like, Toledo could come into Lexington and win this game, or Kentucky could absolutely dominate them just because it's an SEC versus MAC team. It should be a blowover.
I mean, that's how the casual fan looks at it. SEC, MAC, let's go home. Let's put on the Texas-Ohio State game.
Yeah, but when you think about it like this, it's like, okay, well, if Kentucky is the worst SEC team and Toledo is the best MAC team, that gap shrinks by a lot once you kind of hit that point. Because sure, the best SEC teams are, head and shoulders above any MAC team, but the worst SEC teams are probably kind of floating around that top of the MAC conference level. So, we'll see. Toledo, 13 votes on the AP Top 25 poll for the preseason. That's 13 more than Kentucky.
Smack dab with the donut.
13 more than Kentucky.
So that just goes to show that people are, highly touted about this program this year.
Yeah. I know you wanted to talk about it, but their head coach and Mark Stoops both kind of traded some respect about each other. I know Toledo's coach was very open about the defense and said, that's what they put on film. That's the stuff that makes you quiver in your shoes a little bit. Kentucky is going to have a good defense out there.
Absolutely.
And I think that reinstates my point that I've been making all summer.
Yep.
It's like the offense, you have questions. The play calling from Bush, you have questions. But one thing you can depend on, whether you got personnel or not, is a Brad White defense. So, Izzy, go ahead and talk about, the comments he made and Mark Stoops as well.
And that's exactly what Toledo's head coach, Jason Candle, said. He said, Brad White has been in there with that same group running that defense for a long time now. And he said, at least it seems like it's been a long time because they've been so consistent every year as one of the better defenses in the SEC. He said, we know we're going to see new blitzes, new schemes on defense that we have seen before. But he also said that's what the first week of football is for. And you learn and you grow. And he kind of alluded to the fact that going on the road to an SEC school is not going to be easy, regardless of who it is, even though it is Kentucky. But, just back to that respect thing. He threw a lot of respect towards Kentucky's coaching staff and the ability of Mark Stoops to be able to kind of put together rosters year after year, regardless of whether or not they win, 6 games or 9, 10 games.
Yeah.
You guys are like the opposite of Stephen A. He would have been wishing that they were head-to-head, That's what TV likes.
I'm all about love, AJ. I'm a big lover over here,
Peace, love, and positivity,
Peace, love, and positivity, man.
All right.
I guess. Big Blue Nation, the Big Blue Nation won't be feeling that because I promise if Toledo comes in here and wins this first game, I think everybody is going to be like, well, time for basketball. We're already screwed.
Because that's a gut check. Because that first game of football season, that first home game, is always the most exciting for fans. It's always the peak because we all know how the rest of the season goes.
And AJ and I, when we were doing interviews earlier, actually, I asked a guy, I said, what are you most excited for about this year? He glossed right over football.
Yep.
He was like, I'm really excited for basketball to start, blah, 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 blah.
Brother, we got 3 months.
And I said, you know what? I get that. Do you got anything for the football season? And he was like, man, not really.
Yeah.
Craziest part, he answered 3 football questions before you asked them, which are you more excited for? Switched up so
to
fast.
Basketball, man. Yeah.
Yep. That kind of describes the mindset these fans have been processing
and
football.
Real quick, I want to say, speaking of fans and how they're kind of processing Kentucky football right now, we got a lot of backlash on our record post that we made. Not a lot, but
Oh, we got a lot, dude. We have 400 comments.
There's a lot of haters out there saying
up
that
to 400?
saying that Kentucky, oh, these guys aren't Cats fans. These guys. First of all, you're right. I'm not from here. This guy loves North Carolina. I'm from New Hampshire.
I'm way out in Texas.
I cover Kentucky because I go to Kentucky, and I'm not doesn't say I don't love the school.
I'm from Kentucky. I grew up here. I've been around Kentucky fans my entire life. My entire family is Kentucky fans besides me and my dad. So it's like,
I want to say though,
I know what's realistic. I know what they think. I know what everyone else thinks. I know what my buddies are saying to me when they hear the name Zach Calzada. They kind of chuckle and they're like, I guess, man, I guess that's our quarterback.
And as journalists, we have an obligation to the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm going out there and I'm putting 9-3 with an upset against Texas, that ain't the truth.
No, so that's not your honest
That's
opinion.
not my honest opinion. So you know what I mean? You guys can say whatever you want out there online, but it's just how it is.
And I gave 5 wins personally because I check up a MAC opponent, Eastern Michigan, and then whoever else, Middle Tennessee.
I think it's like Eastern Tennessee State, something like that.
And then I'm throwing Auburn out there because...
Which realistically shouldn't even be like that crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's a winnable game.
Yeah, it's a winnable game.
And then I'm going off the edge a little bit and going Tennessee just because I think that's a rivalry game. It's like Browns-Steelers. This year, everyone knows we could throw Dylan Gabriel out for the Browns in Cleveland, and it could be snowing, and they could beat the Steelers.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like it's one of those games, man. That's Kentucky, Tennessee wrapped up in a ball.
Yeah,
that's why I'm giving 5 wins.
Yeah.
Anything past that's unrealistic.
That's what I was just about to get into, because if you're looking anything past 5 wins and we're looking at 6, 7 wins, don't even say anything. We're looking at that's either a Georgia win, a Texas win, a Louisville win, an Ole Miss win, or a Florida win against
Vandy, right?
4 of those 5 are ranked.
My money's on the Louisville win.
I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That would definitely be cool. I know.
But again, that's a top ACC team.
Exactly.
So you're competing. You have, we're talking about Toledo and Louisville, but those are teams that are on the top of their conference.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Kentucky. Obviously the SEC is the SEC.
But you're at the bottom of the SEC.
Again, there's that gap there. Yeah, they're on the bottom. So it's like they're probably really close to each other.
Just the way that some fans, I think, are talking about the season and the team this year, it's like they didn't watch a single snap of football last season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we didn't lose 24-10 to Auburn, 48-20 to Florida, 20-13 to Vanderbilt, 31-6 against South Carolina. Like,
yeah.
Because people can't differentiate between hopeful expectations and realistic expectations.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course I'm hopeful.
Yeah,
I'm a
man.
senior at Kentucky. This is my last year I get to experience
You know how
football.
excited I'd be if the 3 of us can go to State Street and burn some couches after a national championship win? That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Is that what's going to happen?
Recording the video.
God, no, it's not going to happen, though. So
You didn't think it would happen last year and they beat Ole Miss. I'm just saying.
All right. You're right.
I'm completely hopeful.
That was our national championship.
Right. I'm completely hopeful in the season, but it all starts with this week 1 game.
Yeah.
Literally all of it. Because I know some of the guys I've been talking to, there's a lot saying Toledo pulls off the upset. It's pretty much, from the ball knowers with the deluded Kentucky fans, there's like a strong 60-40 saying Kentucky is going to win, Toledo being that 40.
I think even between the 3 of us, like, it's, obviously we think Kentucky's going to win, but I think it's up in the air. You know what I mean?
Too.
I think
Me
Kentucky
too.
could very well lose this game.
Yeah. I do want to add this point, but got Chip Trainum in the backfield for Toledo, and that's someone that Kentucky has obviously, like,
they know a lot about him.
Yeah, like they have all the moves. They know how to stop his style of play.
And
obviously
his defense saw him all year, basically.
Exactly. So it's like, well,
wow.
I was getting into that, but then I'm thinking you got 50 new guys on the team, but at least you have film on this guy. You can prepare for
even
him.
with new guys, it's the same coaching staff.
Right.
It's the same head coach who
and they
saw
have
them play
that knowledge to better prepare.
They'll know.
And although Chip is like, I think he's very talented, but I don't know if Toledo's run game is like the way they win. I don't know if they're Kentucky oriented. I believe their quarterback is supposed to be like the ish and more, but
Coach Kendall actually said a lot about the run game, because he was asked a question in the press conference yesterday, or I guess yesterday when we're recording this on Monday. He said, they asked him, historically Toledo's been a run first type of offense. Last season they went more pass forward, and it wasn't beautiful. The offense wasn't great, but it worked. And basically Kendall said they've retooled their whole team around expecting to go back to that run first style.
Okay.
So he said we got offensive line for this. We picked up tight ends for this. We picked up wide receivers for this. We picked up running backs for this. They picked up guys to kind of fill out the spot of that run style offense. So I think if we get a smash mouth football game on Saturday, it's a high possibility of a lot of running back and forth. You know what I mean? Especially with the depth that Kentucky has in the running back field, too.
That just screams to me like a 28-24 game.
That'd be awesome, though. I mean,
talk about the excitement. Talk about how everybody's going to talk about that game after.
Yeah, man, at 12:30 on a Saturday, man.
Yeah, I guess.
Lexington's going to go crazy.
Yeah.
I would die. I was thinking about this. I would die for Zach Calzada to please put a good game on film.
Yeah.
And that does not mean throw for 300 yards and then 3 touchdowns.
What does it mean?
That means make good reads. That means when you watch back film, you can be like, oh, Josh had a little tight end block and release. If he would have held that, that's on Josh. That's not on you. Oh, you got sacked. Oh, that's on the receiver. Calzada needs to put, I'm not going to say perfect because perfect's obviously, not a good expectation to have for someone's first game out of school.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking in that 80% of the snaps he takes, boom, you need to know your read. Boom,
Yeah.
no fumble on a freaking handoff in the backfield.
Yeah. I mean, they need to avoid a lot of the fluff.
A lot of that little stuff, those little things needs to be perfection, because I promise you people are going to ridicule him all season and try and media force Cutter Boley into that starting role if he isn't perfect with the little things. I promise it will happen. I don't know how much you all keep up with WWE, but it will be like them putting Cody Rhodes in the main event against Roman Reigns instead of The Rock.
I haven't had a WWE reference since I think the last time the three of us were on a podcast together, and AJ and I gave this exact same response.
They'll know.
I hope somebody out there knows, because
They'll
the
know
two
what
guys
I'm
sitting next to you have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
What? That's
No,
okay.
I'll explain. I'll explain. So The Rock and Roman Reigns, Samoan heritage, they're supposed to fight for the belt, and Roman Reigns had the belt for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
But Cody Rhodes was such a fan favorite that the head of WWE basically put Cody in the main event and took The Rock out. And they made it a storyline because obviously WWE scripted. So what I'm saying is...
It is?
There wasn't a thought behind your eyes until you made that joke. You were staring into space.
I was trying to figure out what the hell he was talking about, bro. I'm really I've never watched a lick of WWE.
Can we go back to Cutter and Zach?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Because I agree with you. I would hate for the media to try to force feed us Cutter and force Cutter into the lineup. When Stoops said himself, I have a quote right here. He said, I think Cutter is a guy that's a redshirt freshman that we all anticipate is the future of this program. And I would hate to, have him come in early and throw the whole plan off.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So that all gets back to Calzada, man. He has to put this good game of film up. If Kentucky loses this game, I hope it's not because of Calzada. I hope it's the defense gave up 300 total yards and,
I don't hope that.
they gave up a fourth down or whatever. It's
I just hope if Kentucky
long as
does
it's not
lose, I hope
Calzada.
it's just because Toledo ended up playing better, not because of any big mistakes Kentucky did.
What I'm interested to see is I'm expecting the run game to roll out. First offensive possession that Kentucky has, I'm expecting Dante to be RB1, first play, 1st and 10, they're going to hand him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'm intrigued to see is when it's 3rd and 7. Oh, gosh, it's 2nd and 14. We had a little, sack or whatever. What's the play calling look like there? Is Calzada good enough to dial up a 3rd and 7, medium range pass? Because I don't want to, say he's absolutely horrible, but I also don't want to, call him an overachiever. We've heard about accuracy issues. So if Toledo just comes out there, gets a 3 and out, they get the ball, score, what does Calzada look like when he's down 7-0 the first game of the year and it's been 3 minutes into the game? Yeah. That's what I'm curious about.
I mean, I think if you're the coaching staff, you send him out there for a medium-sized pass because you don't want to wait 4 games in until they play South Carolina to start testing that arm out.
Even wait 2 games because you got Ole Miss.
You got Ole Miss,
yeah.
This is the time to let him get them nerves out. That's the point.
Yeah. I kind of look at almost like that Eastern Michigan game because, well.
Did you just compare Ole Miss and Eastern Michigan?
No.
Can you explain yourself?
No, that's not what I'm doing.
Sorry.
I'm looking at the Eastern Michigan game because I completely expect – I think Kentucky can beat Toledo. I think they lose to Ole Miss, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So that Eastern Michigan game is probably where you work out all the kinks. Because Toledo's almost on the verge of being too dangerous to take some chances. It could be a 14-3 game.
I think it definitely
quick.
depends on how it goes to start off. You know what I mean? It's like if if either teams get out to a jump, maybe, if Kentucky gets out to a 14-0 jump for halftime, maybe they can play around a little bit in the third quarter because they got that reliable defense.
I'd say play around in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
End it out in the third.
Now, question time. Is Calzada 100% safe? What are the opinions on that? Because what happens if he throws 2 picks against Toledo and all this and that, do you just become like, okay, this guy's experienced, he had a bad game last week, we're still starting him against Ole Miss? Do you think it'll be deeper in the season?
I think you're going to
Where
at
we
least 2 or 3 weeks in before they start to think about Cutter.
That seems fair.
Not really just because of like he still needs to learn, but I think it's like we have to give Zach these chances.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if he doesn't have the chances to rebuild his confidence, then you can basically scrap this whole season at Kentucky for him and just put Cutter in week 1. Don't even try. But, you need to give him the chance to, throw a pick, come back, understand, okay, I made the wrong read. Let me go out there next drive and, play the safety over and then get the right ball out. But
And I'll make a bold statement, but I don't think there's a middle ground for Calzada. I think he's like Will Levis level, or he's, what was his name? Brock Vandergriff level.
God,
wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's how he's unmemorable.
Covering football for how many years?
I'm sorry, man, but no, like there's no middle ground there for me. I could see him being a guy that is run heavy and able to make these good reads and just absolutely rejuvenates a new chapter at Kentucky. But then I also see a very depthful ground where the team just wins 4 games, and the only 4 games they win are against non-SEC opponents. So
that's really been the story of the last few quarterbacks Kentucky's had, hasn't it? Just you love them, they're up here, or they're
Devin Leary was like the most bipolar quarterback.
I thought he was going to be so good.
I thought he was going to be nice. That guy can throw the ball hard.
Yeah, he can.
He can throw the ball like 60 miles an hour. Anyways, I did want to bring up about the fact that you said about rushing. I do think that he'll rush a lot. If you look at his stats last year, obviously not the SEC, but 105 carries, 332 yards, 5 touchdowns. Even if it's on
that's with sacks. So if you think about it, I mean, he's probably rushing for 500.
Yeah, and even if he's going in there, okay, it's 2nd and 6, and it's a pass play. All right, pocket's collapsing. I think you can trust him to get out. Even
make it 3rd and 1.
Yeah, even make it 3, 4, 5 yards on the play, get out of bounds. He's smart now. I hope 7 years in, smart enough to realize what he needs to do to keep the position as the starter.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because as much as
that's why it's hard to talk bad about him.
Yeah, as much as he's got the leniency, I think, from the coaching staff to struggle a little bit, I don't think he has that much leniency. You know what I mean? I think he's going to have to kind of lock in because he's going to make those smarter decisions.
Yeah. It's just not knowing. It's not about knowing the smart thing to do. He's 7 years in. He knows if he didn't know, coaching staff would have had him out of here. It's about the execution on the field.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a full circle and beating a dead horse, but it comes down to the wide receiver core. It comes down to, are these guys actually good, or are they just kind of like overblown? I really look at Kendrick Law. I know Butch Hampton said there's no wide receiver 1, man, but I'm telling you, just because I've watched this guy, my dad's an Alabama fan, I've watched this guy, he's a stud. He is an absolute stud. And he's so fast and he's crafty. He's one of those
he's jacked.
I don't want to compare him.
So strong.
Yeah, I don't want to compare him to someone of this level, but I'm just talking looks and speed and how he kind of plays his game. It reminds me of Jamar Chase a little bit. He looks like his arms are like Jamar Chase. Has that similar route running. He can break a little pocket midfield. He has the ability to do that. I'm not saying he's as good, but just his
you see the similarity.
If Zach Calzada and Kendrick Law are Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase,
no.
I'm gonna be lit, dude.
No, but he's a playmaker is what I'm getting at, and he's very able to make a play like that. I don't know how much I trust in Hardly Gilmore and gosh, I don't even know who else is out there, but
Jamori Macklin.
Yeah, Macklin. Yeah,
not that many names to remember. Wow.
All right. Anyways, I think we've made some good points across the board here today. I mean, I think the only thing we can do left now is see what happens.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a great game.
Final score.
Yeah, let's get final scores from everyone. Let's start with you, AJ.
Okay, I'm gonna put it at Kentucky 24-18.
Okay.
18.
18 is
okay.
How do you even get to 18?
Kentucky's winning 24-18.
Cool, yeah. Let's go with it.
Yeah.
Let's roll with it.
You never know.
I'm gonna see how
You
they get to
never know.
18.
Yeah.
You go second. I gotta think
Two
about that.
touchdowns,
is
2
br-
safeties, I think is what he's thinking.
Yeah. Or you
2 touchdowns and 2 safeties.
let's go 17.
Okay,
Let's go.
that's
That's
better.
way. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
makes more
that
sense.
makes more
Yeah.
sense.
I've said 27-20. I'm gonna
Okay.
stick by that. 27-20 Kentucky. I think I'm gonna go with it being a close game down the stretch, 2-minute drill to win the game, Kentucky.
Okay, I like that.
Wow, what an exciting start.
I think it'll be definitely a close one. I think 31-24. I think
Okay.
High score.
No defense.
I think the defense will be there, but I just think that like it's early. I think that Toledo's not going to be 100% kind of prepared for everything we throw at them, but I also think the same for us. So I think they're going to be some breakaway runs, maybe a deep ball to open receiver. You know what I mean? I think, it's Saturday noon football, man. Like things are bound to happen. So
Yeah.
I think 31-24.
I will say I don't think we touched on this too much, but like Seth McClelland and Dante, they have such big play potential in the run game.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe Calzada doesn't even have a game where he has to throw. Maybe it's a 15 throw game and he goes 9 for 15 and you don't really know.
Kind of like what Brock Vandegrift had to do last season.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching and listening to another episode of the Bluegrass Breakdown. Check us out, KY Insider on all socials, TikTok, Twitter, literally all socials. He's counting them down for me. KYinsider.com. Posts great personal stories with quotes. You'll be able to get your fill of Kentucky entertainment with KY Insider. With that being said, make sure to check us out every single Wednesday. There will be a new episode. We're sticking with every Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Might not be exactly at noon.
Hey, we don't know.
But
School started,
it'll
guys.
be on
Give us a break.
It'll be a nice surprise when it comes out.
Yeah, it'll be
every
a surprise.
Wednesday.
It's whenever I can sit down and edit the podcast. So that's when it'll come out.
Right. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you all next Wednesday.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, of course.